Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulullah. Alhamdulillah, last week we started the second hadith of Arba'een An-Nawawi. This is also narrated by Umar radiallahu ta'ala an, and I told you last week as well that this is known as Hadith al-Jibreel or Hadith al-Jibraeel. This is where Jibreel alayhi salam, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and then he asked 3 questions or 4 questions about Islam, about Iman, about Ihsan. He asked about the Day of Judgment. So this is known as Hadith al-Jibreel. And I also said last week that this hadith is just like how Surah Fatiha is Ummul Kitab. Surah Fatiha is known as Ummul Kitab, the mother of the whole book. So Surah Fatiha summarizes the whole Quran in one page. So in the same manner, this is called Sunnah. That this hadith summarizes all the hadith, which is very broad, very comprehensive, a very jami' hadith, which it is regarding each aspect of Islam. So Iman, Islam, Ihsan. That's basically Islam. That's basically what it takes to become a true believer. So it covers all aspects of Islam and our religion. So this hadith is where Jibreel alayhi salam came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he asked these questions. So last week we translated the hadith. So today we'll go segment by segment, try to cover the whole hadith inshallah, or half of it inshallah today. So Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. An Umar radiallahu ta'ala an أيضا قال بينما نحن جلوس عند رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم ذات يوم. So Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he's narrating this hadith that we were sitting with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam one day, and إذ طلع علينا رجل شديد بياض الثياب شديد سواد الشعر. And out of nowhere, we're sitting with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this man walks in. He walks in the congregation, full white clothing and jet black hair. If someone walks in right now, that's wearing it's illuminating. There's so much nur coming from his clothes, from his face. Then we're gonna be like, who is this man? Did we ever see him? We've never seen this person before, so we'll be intrigued. We'll ask around, who is this man? Do we know him? What's his name, etc. So in the same manner, لا يرى عليه أثر السفر. Then this man that came in, white clothing, jet black hair, he had no sign of travel on him. So back in the old days, they didn't have cars or anything. So obviously, if they would come to the masjid, there would be some kind of dirt on the white clothing. White clothing in a desert. So there's going to be some kind of dirt, some kind of stain on the clothing. But he had no stain at all. لا يرى عليه أثر السفر. There was no sign on him of any journey or of any travel. ولا يعرفه منا أحد. And none of us knew him, right? ولا يعرفه منا أحد. None of us know him from the congregation. So if we're all sitting here and someone walks in and none of us know him, we would go up and meet the person, or find out who he is, or we would just watch him, see where he's going, what's happening. We've never seen this person before. ولا يعرفه منا أحد. حتى جلس إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فأسند ركبتيه إلى ركبتيه. And this man walked in, no one knows him. He came to the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم. He sat with him and he supported his knees on his knees. He supported his knees on the knees of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَوَضَعَ كَفَّيْهِ عَلَى فَخِذَيْهِ. And he placed his palms on the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's thighs. So there are different narrations of this hadith. Like this hadith is stating that a man came in with white clothing. A different hadith is saying that a man came in, an Arab Bedouin, Arab shepherd. So someone, because back in the old days, the Arab Bedouins, they're known to be more coarse, they're known to be more rough. So when they walk in, they have no ethics, basically what they're saying. Without the time of the Jahiliyyah, right, time of ignorance, so they would have no kind of manners or anything. So in a different hadith, it states that this man came in, he doesn't know what he was doing. He just walked in the masjid and he said, "Oh Muhammad." So obviously, in the same manner, if someone walks in like a crazy person, if someone walks in we don't know, we're also going to be shocked, like, who is this person? We have to find out what he wants, or who is he. So in a different hadith, it states that Jibreel Islam, he came in as an Arab Bedouin, someone who was rough, someone who was not like they didn't know who he was or where he came from. So, but basically both narrations, they say that whichever way he came in, as an Arab Bedouin or he came in as a clean, pure, white clothing person, that caught the attention of the people. So the main thing is that he caught the attention of the people because this hadith is obviously for a lesson for the ummah, for the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum. So he came to the Prophet ﷺ, he said, وَقَالَ يَا Muhammad. He said, "Oh Muhammad." And back in the old days, they wouldn't call Muhammad by Muhammad. They would say, "Oh Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, Oh Nabi Allah." But he said, "Ya Muhammad." So this is also a sign of saying that he was a Bedouin. Like, he didn't have any manners. But obviously it was Jibreel alayhi salam that came in the form of a man. He said, "Ya Muhammad, akhbirni an al-Islam." He said, "Tell me about Islam." So he didn't ask about the definition of Islam. Like, he didn't ask, okay, what does Islam mean linguistically? But he asked, tell me about Islam. Tell me what it contains. So this hadith, it was actually, like Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he narrates this hadith at the end of the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So close to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's demise, or before he passed away, this hadith was narrated that time, or it occurred that time, to basically encapsulate the message and the mission of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So everything that went down for the those after Nubuwah, after the Quran was revealed, those few that more than a decade, whatever came during those commandments, during those rulings, this hadith was to encapsulate all of that, to make sure that all Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum, they knew that this is Islam, this is Iman, this is Ihsan, and this is the Day of Judgment. So this hadith was nearing at the end of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's life. So he said, "Akhbirni an Islam." Tell me about Islam. So he didn't ask for a linguistic meaning. He asked, "Tell me about Islam on a broader scale." And this is also actually a proof that that he came with white clothing. So it's a sign of respect for knowledge. And if someone comes seeking knowledge in the masjid, they should wear nice clothes. They should be pure, because a part of Iman, a part of Islam, it should be pure outside and inside. So our clothes, how we wash ourselves in the bathroom, how we make wudu, how we make ghusl, and in the same manner, what kind of clothes do we wear? Are we wearing nice clothes? Are we wearing respectable clothes for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to seek knowledge? Because every time we come to the masjid, whether it's this khatara of hadith or some other kind of program, we're seeking knowledge in some way. So this hadith is saying that Jibreel alayhi salam, he came with such respectable manner, with such a beautiful manner to seek knowledge from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the first question he asked was, "Akhbirni an Islam." Right? What is Islam? فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الإسلام أن تشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم replied back to him and said, Islam is basically أن تشهد أن لا إله إلا الله, that you testify that there is no God but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم is his messenger. وتقيم الصلاة, and you pray salah, you establish salah. وتؤتي الزكاة, and you give zakah, you give charity. وتصوم رمضان, and you fast in the month of Ramadan. وتحج البيت إن استطاع إليه سبيلا, and you perform the pilgrimage if it's possible. You perform the pilgrimage if you are financially able to do so. So basically that man, Jibreel alayhi salam, he asked the Prophet ﷺ, what is Islam? And he basically told him the 5 pillars of Islam. Tashahada, shahada, fasting, charity, hajj, and salah. So 5 pillars of Islam is basically what Islam is. So what Islam, in a nutshell, is the 5 pillars of Islam. So if we follow the 5 pillars of Islam, our outward actions, that's Islam, then we'll be classified as Muslims. So I can proudly say that, okay, I am a Muslim if I pray 5 times a day. I'm a Muslim if I perform the hajj if I can. I'm a Muslim if I can fast in the month of Ramadan. I'm a Muslim if I can pay zakat. Those are the basic, principles or basic principles that we need to follow to become a Muslim, right? And that's the first question. What is Islam? So the man said, "Qala sadaqta." He said, "You are truthful. That is the truth. That anta shahada la ilaha illallah wa tuqima as-salah wa tu'ti az-zakah wa tasum Ramadan. That's truth. That's the truth." So Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he said that we were all shocked that this man, he came out of nowhere. He's asking the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he's saying he's also telling the truth. So some it's ajib, it's weird that you only ask the question if you don't know the answer. But this man, he came and he asked the question, and he affirmed it with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this is again is telling us that this is a lesson for all of us. This is a lesson for the Sahaba radiallahu at that time, and obviously for all of us here, since we're listening to this hadith 1400 plus years later about Islam and what is Iman, etc. قال صدقت, that is the truth. You are truthful. قال Umar radiallahu is saying فعجبنا, so we all became shocked. له يسأله ويصدقه. That this man is asking the questions and he's also affirming the questions, the answers. قال فأخبرني عن الإيمان. Second question was, tell me about Iman. So this man, he asked Prophet ﷺ, what is Iman? قال أن تؤمن بالله وملائكته وكتبه ورسله واليوم الآخر. So the Prophet ﷺ said that Iman is basically believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Islam was an tashhada an la ilaha illallah, that you just testify, you say verbally that there's no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. But this is an tu'mina billah, that you believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only God, that you believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in control of everything. And to believe in his angels, to believe in his books, the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, the Zabur, the Injil, and the other, Sahifas. وَرُسُلِهِ, and you believe in his messengers, the prophets, the messengers that came, the Anbiya alayhimus salam. وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, and you believe in the day of judgment. That because you have to believe that there's a final day of reckoning. That everything we're doing in this world, there has to be some kind of account. Like we'll be accountable for something, whether we do good or we do bad. That we have to believe in that. وَتُؤْمِنَ بِالْقَدْرِ خَيْرِهِ وَشَرِّهِ, and we believe in divine decree, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Whether we're in a rut, we're in some kind of calamity, or we're blessed and we have so many blessings and we're grateful. To believe in those divine decree, the qadr, our qudrat basically, and that's what he said about iman. So difference between iman and Islam is that Islam, as you can see, are just performing the acts, right? That you say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala there's no God but Allah. You say that Muhammad is a messenger. You perform fast, it's an action. You go perform pilgrimage, that's an action. You fast in the month of Ramadan, that's an action, right? And iman is to believe in all of those. It's to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's to believe that there's no God but Allah. It's to believe in his messengers, his angels, things we cannot see. So we can't see the Prophet Muhammad, we can't see Jibreel, we can't see, we won't see what's written down for us. We won't see our qudrat or what's coming. We don't know what's going to happen to us the next day. But we have to believe that everything is in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hand. And there's a lengthy discussion about iman and there's so many different sects that happens. There's the Khawarij, there's the Mu'tazila, there's Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So obviously we believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with our mouth, like we testify with our tongue, and we also believe in our heart. And if we commit a sin, a major sin, we don't leave Islam. It's a sin. So our actions, our bad actions, won't affect our iman. But other sects, there's so many different sections. I can't really go through all of them, but there's so many different sections in Islam that they say. Some of them say that if you commit a major sin, you'll leave Islam. You're kafir. So that's very ba'id. That's very absurd to say, considering all these proofs that we have in the Quran and the Sunnah. So, but we believe in that. We believe in Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. We testify and we believe with our heart, and everything we do, whether it's good or bad, it affects our iman. It increases and decreases, but it doesn't affect that our fold of Islam, like our iman, as like we're leaving iman as a whole, that we don't become kafir. So that's the difference between Islam and iman, and that's why this man or Jibreel alayhi salam, he asked Islam first and then iman, because Islam is easy. Islam is just outward actions. Like if I see you pray 5 times a day, I know that this guy's a Muslim, but I don't know what's in your heart, right? So iman is what's in your heart. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala believes that you have iman in your heart, that means you're a mu'min. So first you become a Muslim, there's a level of Islam, Muslim, and then there's a level of iman, being a mu'min. And that's the second question that he asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The third question he asked was about ihsan, which is the next level of after iman. When it means excellence. So excellence in your deeds, excellence in your faith, to have perfect, sincere and perfect belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the 6 principles, the 6 articles of faith, his kitabs, his books, his angels, his prophets, etc. So we'll talk about ihsan on Thursday, inshallah. We'll finish off the hadith. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq, or make us true mu'mins, right? Not only Muslims, but mu'mins. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us true believers in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all of our sins. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the highest abode in paradise, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.